Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just kind of tired.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the lights you got set up in there.
Appreciate it, appreciate it. This is the room, but also the studio at the same time. So
Nice. Nice, man.
yeah,
Yeah, I got some lights like that in the bedroom, but not in the studio.
yeah. It's
But
like
yeah, man, I was listening to just I like to go and check out like new music through like playlisting and stuff like that, and I stumbled across you. I really like your newer stuff. I didn't get a chance to listen to everything, but like your first three songs on SoundCloud, I really liked them, man.
appreciate it, appreciate it.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, a little bit, like if you could just give us a background about yourself, like where you're from and things like that.
Yeah. I was born in Texas, May 2nd, 2002, in Denton, and I lived here for about 4 years, and then my parents got divorced when I was four, and my mom just took us. She got custody of us, and she took me and my sisters. A little bit about me is I had kind of a rough come up. My mom was abusive, and she was on drugs a lot, so it was kind of hard coming up because I dealt with that a lot. Not having my own room. Being hit for things that I didn't even do, and a lot of men, a lot of trauma, honestly, because I beat a lot and stuff, and so it was kind of rough growing up because my brother ended up leaving when we had moved to Oregon because I moved to Illinois, and I lived in Illinois for, I want to say, from when I was like four till I was nine.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Oregon, and I lived in Oregon for about 2 years. And that's when it really got worse. And it was a really bad environment growing up. And uh, it was hard. It was honestly hard, dealing with stuff like that and having to kind of be a man at the age of nine because your brother, my brother couldn't deal with it, so he left, and so I had to take care of my sisters a lot and
Mm.
take care of my little brother and stuff while my mom was really really fucked up on drugs, and so it's kind of bad. But fast forward, uh, after countless times of trying to get a hold of CPS because I tell my teachers and stuff, like what was going on at the house. After some time, CPS got us, and I went back to Illinois and lived with my grandma.
Yeah.
And it was definitely better, but at the same time, it wasn't because uh, most side of my family really cares about my sisters. It seems more than me, and so I still experienced a lot of kind of abuse in a way living with my grandmother.
Yeah.
But I still love them all, and after a year or two of living back in Illinois, my dad, he which was in Texas. I live in Texas now, but he eventually got on his feet, got things taken care of, and got custody of me. And I've been in Texas for about 8 years now, living here for 8 years with my dad, just me and my dad and my stepmom and my stepsister. So
Nice.
that's a little bit about my come up and stuff like that. Yeah.
Do you feel like coming up like that, really affects your music and helps you with writing, or is it kind of, you try to like use music as an outlet and kind of stay away from those thoughts, or how do you feel that that plays into your making music and your creativity?
I definitely want to say it was a big helper. Like it was because I did deal with it. Still, like coming back here, I still had problems that like affected me and things. And at first, music was kind of the way to get away from that and really express, my feelings for that because it's hard for me to talk to others about my personal problems. And I've
Mm.
always found that a struggle. So that really helped it in a way. But that was just the start. Now, more or less, my music is really just about now. I really don't speak on those past problems because I really don't like thinking about it too much
Yeah.
because it's just a really messed up situation. But yeah, I'll share it with people and I'll let them know because, you know, I know there's a lot of people that go through that same stuff. So in a way, yeah, it helped. It helped get me started on my musical path because I've always really liked music since I was a little kid, but didn't really start uh doing it or like writing it until I was in about like sixth grade. And so it was that push. I'd write about things with my mother and the struggles I went through, and I just write it down in this like math notebook during class, and it helped a lot.
Nice, man.
So,
What kind of music was you into back then when you started writing? Was it always kind of, what you're doing now, or was you more into like a different style of music and it's like grown over time?
definitely a completely different style. I started out just like taking Slim Shady instrumentals or like anything I could find from different songs, like the instrumentals from them, and just writing lyrics to them, but like my own lyrics and stuff. And I didn't really record or anything. I just wrote it down and would like show it to people and was like, hey, like look what I wrote.
Yeah.
And fuck with it. And it's definitely was way different from what I do now because what I do now is like completely different from what I was doing back then. So definitely a big change, and I do it's different now, but it's funny to me because it was like I had blonde hair and shit, and everyone like I made
The
Slim
Slim
Shady
Shady haircut.
yeah.
Oh
So it's
yeah.
like, oh, you can be the next Eminem. I was like, no, it's just like I really fuck with his beats.
Yeah,
So
man. I was talking to somebody a couple weeks ago that they make very um like that mainstream EDM house music, and they started out in a death metal band.
death metal band.
Yeah, they went from like death metal to now
Yeah,
they said that they feel like every genre of music uh captures like a certain feeling, and
yeah,
we don't always feel the same way throughout our not only our days but like our lives, and he was like, when he was real young he was always like mad and stuff and pissed, and now he's like all happy and wants to dance and have a good time. So that makes sense, man, how
because
it's really interesting to get to talk to people and see how like music um relates to their life in stages.
yeah, I felt that in a lot of ways because with my music, it's gone throughout these stages. The more and more I've done it, and the more and more I do it, the more and more I find myself going into different genres because it's like, oh, this is the perfect genre for me to express my emotion. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah, definitely. Do you is you're in Fort Worth, right?
yeah, I'm in Fort Worth, Fort Worth,
Fort
Texas.
Worth. Yeah, it's nice out there, man. I like I've been um to like TCU, have some friends down there to visit a couple times, and that's always been a lot of fun. And I like the Dallas area besides like when you're driving and you don't know where you're going, you're trying to use GPS,
Yeah,
where
dude.
all the highways are like beside each other and on top
Yep.
of each other.
It's
Man, that is
it's
that's the
confusing
only
as
thing I
fuck.
don't like about there. That will fuck you up, man.
Yeah, the fucking like traffic here is crazy, man. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I live in Miami, and the traffic gets bad here just like normal during rush hours and stuff. But the
Hmm.
thing that's so bad about Miami is like nobody drives like the same. Everybody has their own rules because it's such a mix of different cultures and stuff,
Yeah,
and like everybody drives extremely aggressive. So like it's very common to see somebody turn right out of the left lane. Like they're just like, oh shit, this is my turn.
Fuck it.
Cut
They just
everybody
straight
off,
up to
don't
the
care, man. And yeah, so Dallas though, I always had a hard time with getting around down there for sure.
yeah,
Do you
it's
feel do you feel like living there in Texas like affects your music, or you kind of get your inspiration from, something completely different? Does like is there a scene for what you're doing down there? You know?
uh in a way, I mean, living here in Fort Worth is honestly kind of a challenge for the music I do. I wouldn't say it really helps or anything because Fort Worth's culture is really like a lot of Fort Worth trap artists. So
Yeah.
you got like, and it's a lot of, it's a mix between the cultures of like Houston, Dallas, and then Fort Worth. So you got like the Fort Worth artists, then you got the Dallas artists and the Houston artists, and like that's what everyone listens to down here. It's like trap, and it seems like mostly everyone listens to trap. So that's what you're around a lot. So it's kind of hard for someone like me who makes like alternative or what they call emo rap or EDM drill, shit like that. Like I don't know what people really label it as. I call it acid music because it sounds fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But it's it's kind of a struggle because someone will come up, be doing new stuff like getting started with music, and they'll do like trap or rap, and that's what everyone here wants to hear. So instantly, it's like they come out here, they post like their first song, like all support to them, but it gets recognized more than what like me and what my little clique do. You know what I mean? There's kind of a scene, I guess you could say, for what I'm doing. There's like very few other people that I know that do it and stuff, but mainly it seems that everyone down here like really does rap and things like that. So it's kind of a struggle, but I still get a good amount of like views and listens and stuff like that. That's just because connecting through school, and then those people show that like the people that want to listen to my kind of music, they show them it and they're like, oh fuck yeah, I'll listen to that. And so that's kind of how I had to get my following and my build up, honestly.
Nice. Do you have somewhere like locally that like a venue that you guys can perform at and that kind of supports that style, or is there just like no lane for it like in that realm yet?
um there is we did one show, but it was more like a sit down show. We didn't know that it was like at this bar where people sit down and
Yeah.
shit. We've been trying to with Corona, like we really can't. But like
Right, right.
we've been wanting to find venues that like are stand up where people can actually come and engage and things like that. But the venues, they don't really. They're really down for anyone and down for just any artist, but it's hard with just the people because not everyone likes the kind of music we make. So it's like it's a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. Whenever like this was a long time ago, but like back when dubstep was kind of getting its start, I like me and like a small group of friends, we really liked to DJ, and we started to get into dubstep, and I found that the most like hardest thing is to find like online you can find a big group of people to like something, but in locally is where it becomes difficult. Like at my college we probably had maybe like 50 kids that was like into that style of
Yeah.
music, so we could throw a pretty dope house party, right? But to get outside of that was extremely hard.
Yeah,
Yeah, for local stuff for sure, so I can understand where you're coming from with that.
definitely is. It really sucks too because it's like I put a lot of emotion and like a lot of work into my music,
Yeah.
especially now with my new music moving forward. I put especially a lot more than I did in the past because there's more accessibility to what I have now.
Yeah.
And so, it, you know, that kind of takes a personal toll in a way. It's like, damn, bro, like I just spent 5-6 hours making this song like the perfect, I like the best I can, and it only has like 45 views, but someone just like, and that's another thing is we're in the suburban area in Fort Worth, so a lot of kids really think that they're like fucking gangster and shit, but they're not. Like they think that because they're selling zips to fucking suburban kids that they're trappers and stuff, and it's like,
Yeah.
so they make this fake ass music talking about, yeah, oh yeah, I'll drop him, I'll kill him, like,
Yeah.
guns, drugs, and it gets recognized a lot. But I'm like, bro, like I'm speaking real emotion, like, support to them. Like I'm not hating on them, but it's just like I wish people would be more like open to different kinds of music and things like that. And the only reason why some of my songs have flourished is because, like, um, I guess in a way you could say it gives off, like I get told it gives off a Lil Peep type vibe a lot. And I'm
Mm.
not trying to be the next Lil Peep or anything like that. Like I'm trying to be the next like me. But
Yeah.
with that vibe that it gives off, it definitely helps in a way because a lot of people here also do listen to like Lil Peep,
Yeah.
but all the other kind of artists they really don't listen to. So it's in a way that music kind of flourishes because of that. But
Yeah.
if I were to post a song tomorrow, it would probably get 50 to 100, maybe more, maybe less. And then if some kid made a new trap song the next day and put it out, that it blow up, blow up, blow up because that's just what everyone around here likes listening to. So
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. But something that I was just talking about with somebody yesterday is, whenever like there's a lot of songs that make like number one on Billboard and then they sit there for like, 10 weeks and then like 10 weeks later we don't care about that song anymore. But whenever there's music that like puts in a lot more substance, a lot more soul, they tend to maybe never even reach number one, but they stick around for forever.
yeah,
There's songs that you might think like um oh, that was an amazing song, it went platinum like this many times, but never in its lifetime did it ever like reach number one because like there's certain like things popping at a certain time, or
just
like I forget who it was, but there was like a band like REM or Offspring or something like that that like the one of their main songs never reached number one, but it's still played on classic radio, like classic rock, because it was competing with like Vanilla Ice or something at the time. It's
yeah,
like it's
yeah,
the music quality is not even close, but because like that was popular at that specific moment, they only got to like number 3 or number 2. So even with people who are like really famous, the same type of thing that you're talking about happens, you know.
it
So
sucks.
you just got to keep making what is like true to you and your soul, and that music will have more longevity than the thing that the guys you're talking about, like whatever they're making will have like a moment, you know, but it won't exist for a long time,
And that's facts. That is.
so I really, yeah, like I search for new music all the time, and like most of that style, like that trap stuff that you're talking about, like I've heard the same like bars more than 10 times. Like somebody will say like how they flipped something, right? And then like don't fuck with me because I'm like hard. Like that type of vibe is like in millions of bars. So now like I've started to notice like the bars don't even change. Like where the cadence of like da 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 da, like that
Yeah,
type of same like Migos Future type of cadence right, with the same attitude, now I'm starting to hear the same cadence with the exact same words from somebody that's less famous because
Exactly.
they didn't hear the other person say it yet, but it's a repetitive state of mind. Like it's there's nothing original about it, you know?
Yeah.
And like I've started to catch like, wait a second, like last week I heard somebody say that exact same thing.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just it's like for the actual people who are doing, the stuff that they speak about, I can see how it's like this person says it and this person says it and their music's just alike. And in every other song, it's almost the same thing. But that's like because, well, that person's actually doing that. Whereas this person that lives here in the suburbs, they're not killing anybody. Like, you know what I mean? They're not actually trapping and shit like that. So I see what you're saying and stuff. It's
And something I like to tell people is like, like you think if you think you're like especially as a rapper, you think you're trapping and you're hard, like you don't understand like if you're signed to a record label, you have a boss. Like there's a rich like old white man that pays your checks and everybody on the label. So who's actually the boss and hard? Like that dude has
exactly.
like $500 million and you
Yeah.
got 2 million. Like you're super dope. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and there's always like, and then like that guy, he has to answer to the government and has to pay taxes and stuff. So there's always like, no matter what, there's always somebody like harder than you with more
Exactly.
money than you until you're like Jeff Bezos. Like there's always somebody with more than you. So
Hmm.
to act like you're so dope because you have more than other people is never appealing to me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's always somebody else, man.
I definitely feel that.
Yeah, man. The this is a little like kind of on the same path but a little off topic. It always blows my mind that like we think like NBA players and professional athletes are so rich, and there's like a person who pays all of their like writes
Exactly.
all their checks.
That
That's mind
person's
blowing.
richer. That
Like how
person.
rich the owners are, man. That's insane.
Yeah, it's fucking. It's funny. It really is. It's like, oh, I'm on top of the world. It's like, your boss is on top of the world, buddy.
Yeah,
You're getting fucked and you don't even realize it.
yeah, for sure, man. Um, you know what you just said right there at the end made me think of a question. Like, how do you talking about getting fucked and not being like realizing it? How do you feel about the music business, and do you prefer like whenever you have the options, do you think that you'll want to remain independent, or are you looking for like that moment that you're able to sign a big record deal?
um, I definitely want to stay independent and start actually making a living off my music independently
Yeah.
and take that path forward. But if that doesn't work out for me, like I don't want to give myself to a label that's going to take everything from me. You know what
Mm,
I mean? 'Cause, there are those labels that like completely control you. And then there's those labels that are like, to the ground with you. You know what I mean? And it works a lot smoother. But I haven't really just like figured out what's up with that situation or not yet because I'm still progressing. I'm still learning. I'm still making more and trying to get out there more because I don't really even have a big enough following to even get a foot in the door to
right.
go far with my music. So that's what I've been really just trying to do right now is just do all that and see what the future brings.
Yeah,
So
that's good, man. You gotta have a product, that people
mhm,
want to buy first,
yeah.
for sure. Um, One thing that I definitely, my opinion has changed on this over the years. My girlfriend works in the record business, and like listening, especially now that because of COVID, she's working from the house. So I've got to hear like a lot of stuff that's happening. And, um, you know, um, I would always like when I was younger think that staying independent is like the best way because why do they need to own like all this stuff, you know? And like now I feel more so of, you know, if you can find the right situation, right, there is like bad deals. But also at the same time, these people have like a massive infrastructure to take this. Let's not even think about music, just business alone. They take a product, right, and have all these services already like in play, right, to then take this product and spread it to like a
Yeah, let
place where it
someone
can be
else. Yeah,
sold and bought more. And it's like, so you know, being a up and coming artist, you got to pay for, you want a music video, you got
yeah,
to pay for it. Then you have to find the people that can create what you want, you
yeah,
know, and then having to match that with your budget sometimes becomes difficult of like, well, I can only afford somebody who's not that good, but I want this, you know. And that's just your music video. It's not including like now I got to get merch. Oh,
mm,
who's going to design it? Oh, who's going to print it? Who's going to pay for it? And all these things is like one song, you know, the one hit wonder people like live
yeah,
forever off of one song, right? So each song can be a massive business. And so, you know, having like you know, there's people who their only job is to promote your song to the radio, not even the internet, just radio.
it's the radio.
And
Yeah,
then you have like these people that their only job is to playlist your music. And then so you have like, you know, this huge infrastructure of people working to get your song to a certain place. And people say like, well, if I make $100 million off of this song, why do I only get 2 million? It's like the 100 million is not possible without them. You
exactly.
actually was going to make like 200,000 off of that song.
Yeah,
You know, so you getting 2 million is because they were able to push it to that 100 million, you know. And just and there is bad deals, there are people that, you know, do bad things in it, but the more that I've got to see like the inside scoop on it, the more that I realize like, well, yeah, they're paying like 100 people to be able to make your music like
music is
make
off
so
of that.
much money. So
Exactly.
now it's starting to make sense the more like that I get to see it, you know.
Yeah, it's like you're
So
not going to be paid the full percent because most of it is going into putting it on these platforms and doing all the other stuff it needs to, get it out there and get it recognized.
yeah, for sure. And so definitely you know, if I was you, man, you're doing such a good job of focusing on the music and not even worrying about that time. And you was really like saying, you know, how you answered it. I think that you're like in the right space, man, of like you're not completely against it, but you don't want to be screwed at the same time. Yes, that's yeah, that's definitely how I would be if I was in your shoes.
Yeah, it's just like I've just like been trying to find a lot of ways to really get it out there, and like it sucks not being able to really, because like with my music, it's I want my music to go far, not because I want like fame and stuff like that, but I do want to make a living off of my music,
Yeah.
because I don't really want to be caught in like a system of like having to do a 9 to 5 every day. Like wake up, go to work, come home. That's my day. Wake up, go to work, come home. Like this never ending cycle. Like I want to live life doing what I love, but also helping others,
Mm.
because music for me was a really great tool in like expressing and just coming to ease with things and coping with things. And so I want to be able to help others because like I know people go through a lot, and I know that like you can be and seem the happiest person, but there's always something going on. And I just like want people to know that like, look, you're not the only one going through it. Like there's other people going through it, and I want to just be able to help in any way I can, and really just also share my feeling and my experience with others. So
Yeah, that's a great thing, man. We all like I feel like we all get a little wrapped up into the way things are supposed to be and
mhm,
forget ourselves, like
it's true.
when you're growing up, you don't say like I want to uh sell insurance for the rest of my life or work at the grocery store and maybe one day I'll manage the grocery store.
Yeah,
Like we don't grow up saying that's what we want to be
yeah,
when we grow up, and people just like get caught up in the race and forget who they really wanted to be.
and
um
yeah, that's true, man. That's true. I've actually like I had a point in time where like, cause I realized like like I gotta get a job. Like I need this money so I can get my music supported, and like like you said, getting caught up in the race, like
yeah,
there's all these other things that distract you around you, and it's like I was like wasn't even made like I was completely just sleeping on making music, and I was just like more focused on like getting money and all this other shit, and like not even thinking like I've just been in this rush, and I like had to stop, and I was like, yo, like look, you're 18, like you still got plenty of time.
yeah,
Don't let others around you, and don't let the system put on you that like you need to get a job, you need all this money, and that you need all these other things. Like just remember what the main goal is, and like keep pushing forward to that goal. And like I had to remind myself like, man, you gotta like keep putting out content. And that's a struggle as well, putting out content, because like I got fucking school and a job, so it's like I'm bent by the time I come home, and I'm like, fuck, dude, like I'm mentally drained. So,
yeah,
that whole, what you said, like getting caught up in the race, it does happen. And a lot of people lose sight of what they actually wanted to do. And so for them, the music just loses more, I don't really know how to say it, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like it loses
yeah.
its flavor, I guess, in a way, because it's like, oh, this
Starts
completely.
to become something you feel like you have to do
Mm-hmm,
because you're tired. You wanted to do it, but you're so tired, you're just like, I don't really want to, but I need to do it. And
mm-hmm.
yeah, I feel you. Um, something like some advice I got uh not that long ago that I've been seeing like some good results from is if it's making for like creating content purpose, like making um everything stretch further. I like, okay, so do you make your own beats or do you both or
No, I don't make my own beats. I usually have someone make them for me, or like, I'll find them on YouTube, like ones that like don't really have many views, and I'll take those, like
okay.
and stuff. So
So like say by like you didn't make your beat, so that you already have one other person involved in the song, right? And then have like you make your version, right? That's cool. But then get somebody, remember how like a lot of people do like a remix and then just throw like they'll take like one verse off and put another verse in. So now you have
mhm,
three people pushing the same product, right? And you have like even if you can only get like a couple, you make like a piece of merch for that one song, right? So like whatever the
yeah,
song is called, you just like design something for that. And maybe you don't have money to take it, right? So offer it for pre-order, right? Something like that. So just take like, because you put so much into one song, right? There's so much
yeah,
like hard work into that. So just trying to make that product like us just being that song, like try to however, that if it's your idea and your career, like maybe exactly what I'm saying is not how you would do it, but advice is try to make that one song become multiple versions of content. Like,
Mhm.
instead of one song, it can be five things instead of just one thing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Cause
Yeah, I get what
it's
you're
so much
saying.
work, you know what I'm saying? So for you to release it and only get, even if you get 1,000 views, which is still kind of nice, is like, but then you're supposed to follow that up next week. It's like I worked so hard on that, you know, like taking one idea and being able to stretch it over like a whole month of like newer twists to it. It's like here's the
Yeah.
song, here's the merch, oh here's the remix, oh and the producer that made that beat actually made an EDM remix of the song we made with stems, or whatever.
Mhm.
But
That's good
somebody,
advice. That really is.
yeah, somebody told me that, and I was like, man, that's. And then I started to realize like where successful people do that all the time, you know. And
Mhm.
the idea of offering things for I remember when they was telling me, I was like, well, not all the time, like, especially like when rents due and stuff like that, not all the time would would somebody have the money to like just, oh, I'm gonna make a shirt for a song, or I'm gonna make a hat that's just for a song, and they're like, offer it for pre-order. You get the person's, right? And you get the money to print it. It's like, so
Mhm.
that way you don't have any like wasted. If you ever have done merch, there's a lot of times you might have like too many smalls left over, many extra larges or
Yeah.
something, you know but by doing like little pre-orders, it's like, okay, only 13 people wanted it, I know all their sizes, I can go and 13 and get it to them, you know
Mhm.
so you
That's like
don't.
a promoting in a way. It's like if you got a cool design or something on there, like a cool cover on there, and people see that and like, oh, I want that hoodie. Where did you get it? It's like, oh, I got it from my homie. Oh, it's his. Yeah. Like, oh, he makes this music. Oh, really? Let me check it out. You know what I mean? And I can see
Yeah,
how that would like take it further and stuff.
yeah, for
So.
sure. Yeah, man. And that's one of the things that inspired me to to try to create this website is, I feel like uh a lot of struggles that up and coming artists deal with is like anything to promote like their music. A lot of it is two things happen: you either have to pay for it, or it gets like pushed down to like the bottom, like if you go on Spotify, like your music's not gonna be the first thing that I see. I'm gonna see Drake or Lady Gaga or whatever, like some of the like super popular people
Yeah.
is what's gonna be put right in my face, and so I wanted to create a platform where like all the all the up and coming artists can be kind of in voice and like help each other. Now, like, I interviewed somebody from Sweden, right? So, and you guys actually kind of make similar music. So now when I like post these videos, his fans and your fans are gonna like be on the same page. Like, so you know, he's gonna be there for a few days, and then I'm gonna put yours there. So you guys are gonna be like right on top of it, right? So now you're all
Yeah.
fans who like a similar music can find it, even though you know it's just starting and everything. But if I get two fans that you didn't have, that's
Yeah.
moving forward, and vice versa for him, you know. And so like I just be able to like create a space where people can like feed off each other, that really need it. Drake don't need any more fans.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and
That's.
yeah, and then also the people that I interview might be able to like collab with each other in the future. Like maybe you find music that you like and you can reach out to that person and be like, I seen you had an interview with this guy also. I really like what you're doing, blah blah blah. And so
Yeah.
the main genesis of creating the site was just the frustration of like because I'm a producer too, so like I work with a lot of artists and like do beats for people, and then you know like I've just watched so many people I think's talented not get the just due they deserve. Because like they don't have the money or they don't have this. It's the lack of infrastructure and tools to like push their career forward, because the music is pretty quality. They've been making music for like 10, 12, 13 years, these people. And so we just trying to create a space where everybody can help each other kind of like come up. It's all free, and it's all like just love. Like I want you to succeed, and I hope you want the guy that's posted next to succeed, and so on and so on. And whenever you go to release an album, shoot me a message, let me know, and we can like make sure to say like, he's releasing this album at this day, you can do it at this places. And always putting like the interviews on like our YouTube, but then like all the like we want to put your links to your videos, your songs and all that like right under and everything. So
Yeah.
hopefully can help like move your streams forward a little as well.
Yeah, and I really fuck with that. I fuck with what you're doing too, man. Like when you'd hit me up, I was like, and you said that to me, like, that you wanted to do an interview and stuff. I was like, oh, is there fixing to be a twist to this? Because like every time it's like, oh, like give me your money, and I'm like, bro, like I don't have any money. I'm broke as fuck. And they're just like, no, man, like this is all free. This is like I want to like talk with you and stuff. And I was like, that's fucking cool, bet, man, I'm down.
Yeah,
So I
thanks,
really
man.
fuck with it.
I appreciate it. I'm glad that you agreed. You'll be surprised of like how many people um like won't that I'll see like that they read it but they respond. They won't even say like no. They just like don't respond, or like people that are my friends that I've worked with for a long time, like I like explain what I'm trying to do and even like send them a link, and they're just like, yeah, bet, and like don't get around to it. Or like I've had people like miss the will agree to a time, and then they just like don't show up. It's crazy. So even offering it for free, trying to just be like, this is something
Yeah,
that we want to work together on,
yeah,
is surprising how hard it is to get people to be like, yeah, let's do it. And actually show up. Everybody I reach out to, I've like listened to at least a few of their songs. Like I don't just like send a bunch of random messages. So to me, when somebody agrees to do it, it's kind of like really, because it's like I liked something you did, so now I'm gonna get to talk to the person that's like behind that song. So it's really cool for me to get a chance to do it as well.
yeah. So I was like, it's like, and it's it's like it's that come around and they don't come through and they do it because I saw this as like, bro, like this is an opportunity. Like
Yeah.
any opportunity that you see, you should take. And I was like, plus it's gonna be a cool experience. I've never done an interview or anything, so this is gonna be around forever. You know what I mean? Like, this
Yeah.
is stuff that people can come back and look at, and like it's really cool.
Yeah, and
I
I
appreciate that.
no problem, man. I feel like a lot of times, it's really hard to promote yourself. So having somebody like who will do a little write up and a little interview for an up and coming artist really go a long way, because it's saying like, look, somebody else is interested. It's like a lot of times people, even some of your best friends, like they truly are good friends, will just like
Yeah,
take your music for granted though. because it's you. And it's like, oh well, you're not
Yeah.
like, you told your friend you was getting like interviewed by like Vlad TV or something. Like now all of a sudden you're like, oh, you've made it, man. You're a god. Like you're awesome. I'm gonna be your biggest fan. But it's like you just you like made a really good song and you're trying to show them, they'll be like, oh, I'll hear it later, it'll all be there type of shit, and don't listen. And yeah, so hopefully by like having an article and an interview under your belt, it'll help you to promote yourself without like being so much like of it. Like I think I'm really good. It's like, no, that guy thinks I'm good too. Go check out the interview and the article. So that's the idea about everything, and hopefully I want to try to do like 3 or 4 new artists every week and just go over time. um COVID really like slowed me down this, because originally I wanted to do like, I have a like a studio and office space like in downtown, and I was gonna have like people come through and do it in person. So I had to like rethink like I was gonna do with it. And to be honest, I actually think like this is way cooler now. It doesn't have to be just local people, or like now I can do it everybody. I just reach out to them through the internet, can do it on Zoom. It's like, in a weird way, it like helps strengthen like the idea what I had in the first place. And then when the office building opens back up, because it's closed for COVID, like I don't I'm waiting to hear back of when we can get in there. But when that opens back up, to be able to add like the live sessions, live interviews will be cool. But now I'll have like all these other people that I've. From places.
Like from
Did,
Sweden.
yeah, like a guy from Sweden, which was really crazy that I was asking him, he makes like very similar music, like kind of like you came up in the same playlist, right? And I was asking him, that's a very amazing style of music. Like, what made you like get into that? And he was saying, back in the day, he was into like the emo rock bands, and was very influenced by like Linkin Park and like Bullet for My Valentine and stuff like that. And then Lil Peep. He's like, and then when Peep came, I was like, oh, you could do all this with rap and like style beats and stuff. Like, I like this. And it's just cool to see like how people get into stuff from being like in Sweden. I've never been there before. So, like, why would they like emo trap music or whatever? And it was cool. And like here in Miami, like there's a lot of people that like are from South America or something, but then they like they're into like I interviewed this one dude. He's in a like a garage punk band, right? And like all English. Like, what? That's not even big here in Florida. Like, definitely not from where he comes from. So like, why? What was the imp to get into that style of music? I always am super interested in to hear people like how get into like what style that they do. And yeah, man. Speaking of that, what do you what's this jacket? Is this a band? It's like a metal band like riding.
No, it's like it's sketchy. Uh, he's a tattoo artist, but he also like he like sells stuff on Zoom. He's like he takes his art and on shit. It's really fucking dope. I just added the spikes to it. I was like, fuck it, I'll add the spikes to it.
That's sick,
It's
man.
not really.
Dude, that would be cool to get him to do a logo for you.
I wish that'd be really cool one day. He's pretty big. That's definitely something for the future. That'd be really dope for him to do some like art from you or some shit and put it on a hoodie. Really
Yeah,
cool.
that'd be bro. All right, man. Well, I'll wrap it up. I want to ask you, two questions before we go. First, what out of everything in your life, what are you most grateful for?
Fuck. I'm really grateful for a lot of things, honestly, because I don't even know. I've never been asked that before. I guess I'd have to say I'm really grateful for um I'm really grateful for my friends because they're really supportive. So I'm really grateful for them. I'm grateful for my dad because he pulled me out of this situation that I honestly thought I was never gonna be able to come out of. And he really helped me and he taught me a lot and stuff. And that's what I'm grateful for. It's like the best thing that could have happened to me is my friend.
Nice. And then last question, if there's one piece of advice you could share with people watching this, what would it be?
It would be to like never give up, like, because there's gonna be times coming up. You're gonna be like, you're gonna this cycle of people putting out something that was just put together. There was no emotion. There's no realness there. Like I talked about, and it's really gonna turn on you. And there's gonna be a lot of times that you're gonna sit there and you're gonna think like, oh man, like, am I ever gonna be able to do this? Like, look at how many people I have following. Look at how many plays I get. Like, am I really ever gonna be able to make this into something I can have for myself and others? Just keep a strong mindset and keep pushing forward, knowing that like your time will come. You just put in the work and you stick true to what you were originally trying to do, and like don't lose focus of that. And keep in mind,
That's great
so
advice, man.
that's got to be my
Right, hell yeah, man. Well, it was great talking to you. I really appreciate it, and I'll get like the little editing done and the article, and I'll get over to you before I post it. And yeah, just drop me the link of what you want me to like promote like along with it, like song you're trying to push and stuff like that. If you have like any video, whatever you want me to promote, just send me a message with it and put it together in the next few days. We'll get it up on there for you.
sounds good, man. Thank you for the opportunity, really.
Oh, no problem, man. Take care.